Hey, this is Redark, and we're going to install the TowPro in a 2019 through 2021 4Runner. First, let's go over the parts that you'll need for this install. You'll need the wiring harness TPH-021. You'll need the replacement plug TPSI-002. You'll need the standard mounting bracket EBMK-001. And last is the TowPro Elite V3 brake controller. Let's go over what's in the box and what you will need and will not need. First off is the brake controller unit itself. On one side, it has the plug for the switch controls, and on the other, the plug that goes to the truck. The main unit is small and compact. Next in the box is the remote head unit, with the dial on one end and the plug on the other. And then last on the top of the box is the dial itself. In the rest of the box, we have the universal wiring harness. Then we have the wire that connects the TowPro to the dial, the remote head bezel and head nut, and a square switch insert. Before we do any electrical work, let's disconnect the battery. Remove the floor mats. Gently pull to remove the side trim piece. To the left of the brake pedal, you'll see one hand-removable nut. Remove and set aside. Gently pull and remove that trim piece. To remove the dash panel, there will be two screws, one on either side of the lower part of the lower dash. Using a 10mm socket, remove these. Gently pull to remove the left center dash plate. Gently pull out to pop off the panel. We don't have to unplug any wires, we're just going to let it hang there. Mount the TowPro to the TowPro mounting bracket in this orientation. At the end of the TowPro mounting bracket, we're going to bend at a 90-degree angle as seen here. To the left lower part of the steering column, you'll see two holes. The upper one is where we're going to mount the TowPro. Do a dry run to see if any of the brackets need to be bent just a little bit one way or the other. The white wire on the harness will be our ground point, and the white plug is the part that we connect to the existing tow package plug, and the other side is what connects to the TowPro. Go ahead and plug in the wiring harness and feed the wiring back underneath the dash to where we're going to plug it in later. Using the provided nut and bolt in the mounting bracket kit, mount the TowPro. Let's assemble the adjustment dial. Put the remote head into the switch insert. It will only go one way. Screw on the remote head nut. It is plastic and see-through because it's backlit by LEDs, and that's how you see where you are with the dial. Now let's put the dial on as well. On the left side of the dash that we dropped earlier, let's pop out the upper blank switch insert and insert the switch that we just assembled. Connect the remote head wire into the TowPro. And the other side into the back of the remote head knob. Organize the wiring behind that panel. Reattach the lower trim piece underneath the steering column. Put your two 10mm bolts back in the bottom dash. Put the center console trim piece back on. Attach the white wire from the TowPro harness to the ground point on the sidewall. Attach the TowPro harness to the existing plug in the truck. This harness is located on the left side driver wall and can be tucked pretty far back up in there. Zip tie all of your harness wiring up. Put your front trim piece back on. Secure with the hand nut. Put the side trim back on next to the door. Reconnect the battery. Turn on your vehicle, press in the dial and see if you have power. Now that power is established, let's switch between braking modes. To change between braking modes, you must have a trailer connected and be to complete stop. Rotate the dial all the way to 0. Release the brake and then apply the brakes. Double tap the knob. You will see the LED change from blue in proportional mode to green for user control mode or vice versa. And over the course of regular driving and braking, the trailer brake will calibrate in the orientation that it was mounted. The only time you need to recalibrate is if you move the positioning or the location of the brake controller. Now let's go over the difference between the TowPro Liberty and the TowPro Elite. The TowPro Elite is the best controller for all-terrain, all-weather towing with its 2 brake modes, on or off-road. The TowPro Liberty only utilizes RedArc's proportional braking for everyday towing on highway conditions. Both of the main control units are approximately the same size and install in the exact same way. Installing this brake controller typically takes around 30 minutes.